In Texas right now, Austin, Texas, there's something weird going on. There has been men between 20 to early 40s that have gone missing after going to a bar. They normally go to a bar with some friends and drinking a little, and then wind up disappearing and not found until their bodies are found at Lady Bird Lake. Now the crazy thing is this has been going on for a while. And in all the cases, it always is they go to a bar. And even in some cases, their friends will say that they didn't have that much to drink, like one or two, but then it just seems like they've been drugged. So, in 2020, the crazy thing is that the killing stopped. But also, that was the time that COVID was going on, and there was no bars weren't open. In a lot of the cases, though, they're often found at Lady Bird Lake or close by. And sometimes some of their bones are broken, whether it be their ribs, legs. There has been 2 cases, though, where 2 people survived, but one was thrown off of a bridge, so he doesn't remember anything. And then one was in the coma, so he doesn't really remember anything. But the one who was thrown off the bridge, they actually did find a drug in his system, so they definitely know that he was drugged. But they think whatever the killer is putting in their drinks isn't something that lasts very long. So, like I said, often the victims are single men, and normally they go out for a night, and like I said, then their body is found. The weird thing is, though, is that there was one case where the young man went out with his friends, and the same thing happened. But on the cameras, you can see him walking like he was drunk. But the problem with that is people around him said he had only had 1 or 2 drinks. And his brother had said that he was the type of person that it took a lot for him to get drunk. So he believes that his brother was drugged. It shows on camera him walking, and then after he gets to the end of the street and he turns, there's no cameras. So after that, you don't know what happens. His brother, though, does think that he was murdered. And after his murder, the brother had got a text saying that he needed to give the kidnappers money and that his brother would be okay. So thinking that his brother was alive, he gave the money, but it was a scam. And a couple of days later, they found his brother's body in Lady Bird Lake. There was one who, he had like just moved to Texas. Like he'd only been there for 2 years, which is often the case for a lot of them. A lot of them, they had recently moved there and they hadn't like lived there their whole lives. He had just moved there. And like with a lot of the cases, he went out with his friends, and the next day his friends reported him missing because it wasn't like him to just go missing. And they said he had a dog at home that he never would leave that long. They ended up finding his body. And the locals are trying to get something done. They're trying to get police to do something, but police won't. And the brother of the one, when he went to the bar, he said the bartender was like really weird about letting him see the footage. He said it was weird. So with all this going on, the locals really think that there is a serial killer, maybe more than one, terrorizing basically men. The weird thing is, though, is that I watched this one documentary where this guy went out with some of his friends and they all had a few drinks, and when they went to get in the Uber, they noticed that one of their friends was gone. And like I said, a couple of days later, he was found in a coma. He lived but he doesn't remember anything that happened. So that night, though, the one who, when I watched the documentary, he said that he looks back and tries to remember if there was anyone there suspicious. He says there wasn't. My thing is, though, is this person has to be watching to target who he knows he's going to target. But I think that the crazy thing is to put something in someone's drink would not be that easy. Unless he has someone maybe doing it for him. And then he watches. And when they go away from their friends, that's when he gets them. Like, he knows the right moment to go after them. But then the weird thing is, too, is that there's some cases that make me feel like he's holding them hostage for a couple of days, and then he's killing them. Like, he's waiting, like he keeps them, and then their bodies are found on the lake. Because there's sometimes, well, they'll be looking in the lake and they won't find the bodies, and then a couple of days later, they're there. And the police claim they looked and they didn't find anything, and then mysteriously they pop up. So it makes me think it could be that he's keeping them for a little bit and he's not just instantly killing them. And I also think that there's a possibility that he could have help. Like, there's some people that are helping him. So it's definitely a crazy case. And a lot of weirdness. But let me know in the comments what you all think.